everyone. Today's session is about the three pillars of trust: security, privacy, and resilience. My name is Abeer As'ad. I'm a consulting VP at Resilience Company, Saudi Arabia. So, are you ready to start our session? Let's go. First, we'll talk about the hook, the trust dilemma. If I ask you, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Some check emails and some scroll through social media, and some just hope their company has not been locked or hacked overnight. Now, imagine this. You wake up, you grab your phone and see the news. Massive data breach, millions of users exposed, critical systems down, businesses at standstill, user trust eroded. Can this company recover? How would you feel? Vulnerable? Angry? Betrayed? That's the trust dilemma. And that's what happens when security, privacy, or resilience fail. And the scary part is that this isn't some doomsday scenario. It's happening every single day. Just a few months ago, MGM Resort, a famous one, a well-known resort, I've been there once, they faced cyber attacks that cost them nearly $100 million and locked guests out of their rooms. One phishing call, that's all it took. A business can survive a bad quarter, but can it survive a breach that shatters the trust? That's why trust is the foundation of everything. Trust is what makes us log in, buy, share, and interact. But here is the problem. Many companies think security or privacy and resilience are separate issues. They lock down the security but neglect privacy. They protect data, but they don't prepare for what happens when things go wrong. And here is the truth. If you lose security, you lose control. If you lose privacy, you lose confidence. If you lose resilience, you lose everything. This is why we need all three. They are not just tech terms, they are the foundation of digital trust. So let's break them down and see why they matter more than ever. And here we start with the first part, the security, the foundation. You know what's funny? When we think about security, we often imagine a vault, a steel door, or an unbreakable password. But here is the reality. Security is not a door, it's a mindset. You can have the strongest lock in the world, but if someone hands it over the key, what's the point? That's exactly what happened to Caesars Entertainment last year. Their cybersecurity systems were robust, their defenses were solid, but all it took was a one phone call crafted a phishing attack to trick an employee into giving his access. The cost, $15 million ransomware just to avoid a complete data exposure. Now, speaking about security, let's talk about security versus cybersecurity. What's the difference? A lot of people use these terms interchangeably, but they are not the same, actually. Security, yes, it's a broad concept of protecting assets, whether it's physical, digital, or even human assets. Cybersecurity is the subset of security that focuses on protecting digital systems, networks, and data from cyber threats. You can have the perfect physical security, guards, locked doors, CCTV, but still get hacked if someone gains access to your digital environment. You can have state-of-art cybersecurity, firewalls, encryption, AI threat detection, but if someone walks into your office, plugs a USB, and steals data, you've lost. Security is multi-layered, and cybersecurity is just one piece of the puzzle. The perfect cybersecurity strategy consider all attack vectors, not just the technical ones, but also human and physical weaknesses, which brings us to this. The perfect cybersecurity approach. Why one frame does not fit all? And here is the mistake a lot of organizations makes. They follow a framework thinking it's a silver bullet. We implemented ISO 2701. We are secure. We are NIST or NCA compliant. We are good. We passed an audit. We must be protected. But cybersecurity is not just about checking a compliance box. Ask yourself, Is a bank cybersecurity strategy the same as hospital? Should a government agency protect data the same way an e-commerce platform? Can a startup use the same cybersecurity approach as a global corporation? Which means that one framework does not fit all. Every organization has different risks, different attack surfaces, um, different levels of threat exposures. And the perfect cybersecurity approach is risk-based, tailored to your actual threats, not generic ones, adaptive, able to evolve as attackers evolve, layered, defense in depth, combining multiple security controls, and finally, and most importantly, tested, because that works. What works today won't necessarily work tomorrow. So, which means that compliance, yes, is crucial, but doesn't mean that you are secure. And here is the biggest misconception. If we are compliant, we must be secure. Wrong. Compliance is about meeting a standard. Cybersecurity is protecting your organization, but there is a difference between being compliant and being secure. If you can pass an audit today, you can get hacked tomorrow. Compliance frameworks don't always cover new or emerging threats, and attackers, they don't care if you are compliant, they care if you are vulnerable. And think about it this way. A seatbelt law makes sure cars have seatbelts, but it does not mean that every driver actually wear them or that they know how to use them effectively in an emergency. Compliance is necessary, but it's only the starting point. True security comes from continuous monitoring, real-time threat intelligence, and a proactive defense strategy. Security is not a one-time fix. It's a continuous process. Strong encryptions, necessarily, but not enough. Zero trust architecture, great, but still not enough. Regular threat assessments, crucial, but again, not enough. The key is proactive security. Train people because security awareness is your first line of defense. Test your systems because vulnerabilities don't disappear on their own. Assume breaches because thinking you are unbreakable is the fastest way to get hacked. Think about it this way. A company that constantly assumes it's already compromised will always be more secure than the one that assumes that it's safe. So security is about, yes, reducing risks, but you can never reduce risks to zero, which brings us to our next pillar, the privacy. Because what good is security if your privacy is still being exploited? Now, let's start with our privacy, which is the right to be protected. Quick question. Would you rather have your bank account hacked or have every private conversation you've ever had leaked online? Most people, by the way, they hesitate to answer because money can be recovered, but privacy, once it's gone forever. And here's the problem. Many companies, they treat privacy as an afterthought until it's too late. Case in point, Meta, Facebook, they were fined $1.3 billion in 2023 for mishandling user data. It was the largest privacy-related fine in history. TikTok, they faced bans in multiple countries and till nowadays, actually, over concerns about data sharing. And Amazon was fined £746 under the GDPR for privacy violations. So what's the lesson? Privacy violations are not just about fines, they are about trust. Lose that, and no compliance framework in the world can fix it. Well, let's talk about the privacy versus security. What's the difference? A lot of companies say we are secure, so our users' privacy is protected. Wrong. Security is about protecting your systems from unauthorized access. It's about the confidentiality, the integrity, and availability. However, privacy is about protecting people's personal data and information from misuse, even by those who have access. Example, a company can have strong security but still collect, store, and sell users' data without their knowledge. That's privacy violation. Security failure equals data stolen by outsider. Privacy failure equals data exploited by insiders. So just because a company is secure does not mean they respect privacy. And now, why privacy is more important than ever? Think about it this way. Your phone knows where you are. Your smart devices are listening. Your online purchases are tracked. So, are you okay with that? Most of us trade privacy for convenience every single day and sometimes without even realizing it. Example, ever search for something online or even talked about it with your friend and then suddenly started seeing ads for it? That's not a coincidence. It's data profiling, and it's one of the biggest privacy challenges of the digital era. And you know what's the worst part? Most people, they don't read the privacy notices or privacy policies. Big techs, they know about this. So here is the shift. Users are demanding more control. To be honest, people currently are choosing privacy-focused search engines like DuckDuckGo over Google. Companies like Apple, they are making privacy a selling point recently. Their slogan, what happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone. Regulations like GDPR, CCPA, and the PDPL are forcing companies to rethink data collection. The privacy paradox. I want privacy, but not too much. And let's be real. We all say we care about privacy, but we still use social media, location tracking, and smart assistants. Um, how many of you have ever clicked accept all cookies just to get rid of that annoying pop-up? Yeah, we've all done it. And here is the reality. Privacy is not just about keeping data secret, it's about having control over data. Good privacy means transparency. It means users knowing what data is collected and having a say about how it's used. It means companies respecting that choice. Because if users don't trust you on their data, they won't share it with you. And if they don't share it, your business dies. That's why privacy is no longer just a legal requirement, it's a competitive advantage. Let's talk now about the compliance versus privacy. And as we know, compliance does not equal privacy. Just like security, compliance alone is not enough. A company can be legally compliant, and this is good, and this is very good, and it's required, however, but still unethical. They follow the rules, but in the fine print, they still sell users' data. They meet privacy regulations, but they bury constant agreement in 30-page documents. Real privacy means going beyond compliance. It means data minimization, collect only all what you need. Informed consent, no more click here to agree without understanding. Privacy by design, building systems with privacy in mind from day one. Because here is the thing, privacy is not just a checkbox, it's a promise. Privacy is great, but what happens when things go wrong? Because let's be real, no system is 100% safe. Even if you lock down security and protect privacy, things will still break. So the real question is how fast you can recover. And that's where resilience comes in. Because without resilience, even the most secure and private systems will fail when a crisis hits. And in today's world, resilience is what separates those who survive from those who collapse. Let's start our third section, the resilience part. Now, let's talk about the resilience. So we've looked about the security, about the privacy. Now, what happens when, despite all precautions, things still go wrong? Because let's be real, no system is unbreakable and no company is invincible. Data breaches happen, cyber attacks happen, systems failure happen. And in those moments, it's not security or privacy that will save you, it's resilience. Resilience is the ability to take the hit and keep going. Imagine two companies. Both are hit with the same ransomware attack. Company A has resilience built into their DNA. and it has tested backups and disaster recovery plan. It knows exactly how to respond to a crisis. Within hours, systems are restored and business continues. Versus company B, not so lucky. It thought its backup were fine, but never tested. It has a response plan, but employees don't know about what to do. Days pass, systems remain down, customers lose trust, reputation is destroyed, revenue is lost. So who do you think survives? That's resilience. It's the difference between recovering and collapsing. Resilience is not just about cybersecurity. A lot of people think resilience is just about recovering from cyber attacks. Wrong. True resilience is about adapting to any crisis. A cyber attack? Yes. A system failure? Yes. A natural disaster? Yes. A regulatory shutdown? Yes. Resilience is about being ready for the unknown. Think about the COVID-19. Businesses that had remote work policies, flexible supply chains, strong digital infrastructure survived. And the ones that did not, many never recovered. In a world full of uncertainty, resilience is not an option, it's a necessity. And how do we build resilience, by the way? 3 simple steps. First, prepare for failure before it happens. Tabletop exercises, simulate attacks, see how your teams react, stress test your systems, don't just assume they work, prove it. Chaos engineering, yes, it's a real thing. Break down your own systems on purpose and so you know how they fail before an attacker does. Second thing, backups. Backups should be tested, not just restored. Cloud and on-premise should work together, not against each other. And you should have an alternative vendors. The supply chain attack can cripple if you don't rely on one, if you rely on one provider. So third thing is make resilience a culture, not just a checklist. Everyone in your company, from the CEO to the intern, should know about what to do when things go wrong. Incident response should be muscle memory, not let's check the playbook in the middle of a crisis. That means that you need to train like it's real, because one day it will be. That brings up to the point that the faster you recover, the more people will trust you. The hard truth, customers don't care if you get hacked. Customers care about how fast you recover. When Microsoft was hit with a global outage, they restored services in hours. However, when Equifax got breached, it took months. And the company still has not recovered its reputation yet. So, which means that resilience is not just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing back faster. Because in the real world, trust is not lost when things go wrong, it's lost when you don't know how to respond. So, finally, let's bring it all together. And here is the big question. Can we really trust organizations in today's digital world? The answer, only and only if you get these 3 things right. Security, prevent breaches. Privacy, builds confidence. Resilience, ensures survival. Trust is not built overnight, but it can be destroyed in seconds. That's why companies need all 3 pillars, not just one. Because without security, you lose control. Without privacy, you lose confidence. And without resilience, you lose everything. A final thought, the future belongs to those who prepare. So I leave you with this. The future does not belong to the strongest companies. It belongs to the most adaptable ones. Those who understand that security, privacy, and resilience are not separate things. They are the foundation of trust. Now, the question is your organization ready? Thank you.